Hello, guys. It's another beautiful Tuesday, and I'm super excited to have you guys here. As you all know, my name is Valentine Away. I'm your host, and I'm with Oyemade Oyemaja, who is my co-host as
Hello,
well.
hello everyone.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. So today is special, and like I said, I'm happy to have you guys here. What we will doing today is that we're going to be looking into our own toolbox and see what we have to share, or if there's any new thing that we've added to our toolbox, or there's anything that we've not shared before with ourselves. This is an opportunity for you to say, "Oh yeah, there's this great tool that I use, and it's super cool," or "This is how I do my stuff, and it's super cool." So the floor is really open to anyone. Okay, someone's about to join HK. Yeah, so the floor is really open to anyone who wants to, share some exciting stuff with us. And then if there's no one, we can then pick on, individuals to say, oh yeah, these are how I work, or these are the tools that I use, and all that. So, like I said, for us to begin, the floor is open for anyone who is willing to share with us that cool stuff in your toolbox that has been doing. It could be a library, it could be anything, it could be a trick, it could be anything at all. So I hope you guys get it.
Yeah, uh,
Great.
Yep.
Great.
Man, I could start if anybody is not doesn't have anything else to do to say. I'm saying sorry. Yeah. So I use a lot of I use mostly VS Code. So VS Code, there's a lot of plugins that I use, like Cancel Rocket. I don't know if you heard of that.
Wow.
So
Nope. What does it do?
Console Rocket, basically what it does is a plugin that you don't have to write the console log. So basically you just select whatever variable you want to console log out, and you do Control Shift L, and then that brings up the name of the method that you are on, the name of the variable, and then like if you are in a sub method of that method, that also brings it out. So it will go like method, sub method, and then the variable name, and then the variable value. It will cancel out for you automatically. So it's a
Oh
really
so
wow.
it's a good little plugin.
what did you call it?
It's called Console Rocket,
Console Rocket.
Okay.
uh-huh,
I
or
think
Rocket
Sounds
Console, something like that.
this is that it. Console Rocket. I shared it on the group. Is that it, Rob?
Let me see. Yeah,
Oh great.
I
Great.
think it's Rocket Console,
Okay,
backwards. I think.
Rocket. Okay, Rocket console.
Mhm.
Uh
Yeah.
okay, cool. Oh
And then
yeah.
there's another one, uh, parenthesis colorizer. I mean, yeah,
bracket.
colorizer.
Oh, wow.
Bracket colorizer, right?
Bracket colorizer. Yeah, bracket pair colorizer is the other one.
Yeah, yeah, that one I can speak for that one. Yeah, that has been saving me since way back.
Yeah,
Really?
and that
Is it
one, huh?
for you to know where you open and close your brackets, or
Correct. Anywhere on the code. So if you open one up, then the other one gets the same color. And if you open inside of the other ones get the same color. So you always
Yes.
know where one begins and one ends.
oh wow, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
That this and I need to. I've not used it before, but I need to introduce it to my wife because she's been writing some JavaScript, and sometimes she asks me why is this thing not here, like like because it started here and it's ended here. So I think that's gonna be a very good plugin
Yes.
for her to use.
Yeah. And
Cool.
another little tip that I do in when I'm coding in VS Code, like if you want to put quotes around anything, all you have to do is select it and put the initial quote. You don't need to put the quote first and then go to the end of the whatever it is you're going to do and put the next quote. You can just do select whatever you want to select and start
Okay.
the quote, and it will end the quote. You could
Okay.
start the parenthesis, it will end the parenthesis. You could start the curly braces, it will end the curly braces. So you
Oh,
don't have to like do
Isn't that handled by Emmett? I think doesn't Emmett handle something like that? So I think
uh
I've always had that. But is that like an external extension or something?
No, I think it's part of VS Code as it's already built
Yeah.
in with the
by
MX
default.
package. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so also, if you, sorry. So, and the themes of this VS Code shortcuts. So you know how you can move lines up and down. You know how to do that, right?
Yeah, those are like VS Code shortcuts. You're talking about?
Yeah, shortcuts. So you can go up and down by doing control. I mean alt and then the arrow keys. You can move lines up and down, and you can also do select multiple. Let's say that you have a an object and it has the same properties. An array of objects with the same properties. So you could do control D on select the first property, do control D, and it will keep selecting all the properties with the same name across your object. And then that way, if
Yeah.
you want to add something else, like maybe name the property something else or whatever, you can just do it, and it will change all of them in one shot. You don't need to go to each one and try to do that. You don't need to do search and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah. That's good. I think one thing you can also do is you can right click on it, and then if you
Hmm.
right click, you'll see find all occurrences, and it will highlight everything that's like that in that file, everything, and it will, yeah, you can
Exactly.
also do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Control D. So Control D is a good thing
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, that's good.
And one of my favorite things is Get Lens. I don't know if you guys use it. The Get Lens extension. Get Lens. Write
Git
it over
length.
here.
It's great.
Yeah, I'll write it for you here. It's like so basically it tells you like every time that if you made a change in the code, it will tell you right away. So if you put your cursor on the line where the change was made, it will tell you who made the change, when was it made, what was the Jira number, or everything about that particular commit where you changed that code. So that way, if you see that you made the change, then you don't have nobody else to blame but yourself. Because sometimes you're like, who made this change? So
Yeah.
you know who to blame now.
So true.
But I think another thing I've noticed is it's so it to some extent it also has its own flaw because if someone worked on a file and then probably I worked on
Mhm.
that file in another place but I did a save and I have a different prettier configuration from the other person and then
Mhm.
there are some changes, it will change to me. So you would think I was the one that made the changes when I actually didn't make the change. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's another, yeah, another
that's
issue. Yeah.
another, yeah. So it's really, but yeah, I get that fact that you could just know who wrote something. Yeah, it's really, really
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
There,
Yeah.
there's a solution to that, right? Because GitLens also has line history. So basically, whenever I see a lint comment, I just go to the line history and check out what was beneath that lint comment. Although it is annoying, it's true.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow, I've
But you could
always
also
seen.
do history in Visual Studio Code. So you can go to the Git icon, and then you can look at file history, and it will give you all the changes that were made. So that's also another way that you can look at the whatever happened in Git.
That's cool. I've always seen that, but I've never even thought of adding that to my own code. And
Mhm.
recently, there was a change that was made on a repo that I was working on, and then there was a comment and say, "Oh, why did we do this?" And I was like, "Did I do this? I don't know who did this." And I said, "Oh, I'm not sure I did. And maybe I pulled it from a branch." And now I think I need to go and get GitLens and say, "Oh yeah, let me know if I'm the one that actually did it by mistake or
Yeah.
something."
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's cool.
We can also
And
see a line on VS Code, like on the blue line, like git blame. Like, so there will be a blame and a name for who has written the code.
Okay.
So on
Okay.
the blue line that is there on the below, like where we have Windows Toolbox and everything. So there is a
Yeah.
small, there will be like blame and the name of the person who has written that.
Oh wow. Okay.
But it's,
Okay.
it's without VS Code, like without git length as well, kind of
Oh, you cannot. So
inbuilt in
it's
VS Code.
so default. By default, you can actually still see that history of the person that made the changes without git
Yeah. If
length.
you like the line on which your cursor is, that line who has written that line will return.
Okay.
Was modified previously.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you. That was for my wife. I think she's cold.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you,
So
Rob. Do you have more stuff for us?
yeah, I got more stuff, but I don't know if you want to hear
Yeah, keep them coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep it going.
keep them coming.
it. Okay, so
Today
you
is
guys all
actually
use Prettier, right? Prettier is like another extension that is a must because if you're working with a team, everybody has their own way of doing things, and some people like to do two tabs, some people like to do four spaces for the tabs, or two spaces. You know what I'm saying? So if you use Prettier, I mean you can uniform your code development, right? So you know what to expect. You know everything that's going to be formatted in a specific way. You're going to have your semicolons at the end of the file of the lines. You're going to have your breakpoints at a specific points. So especially with the HTML, a lot of people like to put everything in one line. So you have to go scroll all the way to the right and then come back all the way to the left, to read the entire line. And that's, it shouldn't be like that. You should be able
Yeah.
to read your entire, from edge to edge. Your code should be from edge to edge. So like about 75 to 80 characters, I would say. That's like the maximum characters. So if you keep Prettier on, it will format all your documents for you automatically on save. You can format it, you can save it, set it up so that you can save it on save so that you are able to preserve the format for everybody, right? Another useful one is code spell checker, and a lot of people, including me, I make a lot of mistakes, spelling mistakes, because I type very fast. So, if you use code spell checker, it will tell you, oh, listen, this word is misspelled. Because especially with the word hierarchy, it's a hard word to spell. So it will tell you right away that you misspelled it or something. So a lot of people have, spelling issues. So, and that also helps because whenever you are naming a variable, a lot of people don't use copy and paste. A lot of people want to type it again, even though VS Code has the ability to show you the name of the variable. So all you do is you can do this, that, and then it will give it to you, or you can do start typing the variable and automatically you will see it on the list, and then you could just do tab to reinsert it. But like I said, it's usually better if you copy and paste whenever you're working on with variable names, because that way you always have it, just paste it and you don't have to think about it. Especially long variable names, words. And another one that I use is JSON to TS. So basically, you can take a JSON file and it will create an interface for you automatically. And I don't know if you know this, but it's better to create an interface than to create a class. So a lot of people come from the background from
C#
C++ and all these other languages, Java and things like that, and they want to do a class instead of creating an interface. And the reason why I create an interface is because most of the time you don't want to make your code the code base bigger. So every time you create a class, you're creating another class, which means more code, and you are creating. Then you have to do new, and then you have to do whatever the new class is. So in order for you to type that class, right? So it's best to use an interface because the interface after you build is no longer used. Once you build, it's no longer in the code. It's just for when you are developing, so that it can give you structure for your objects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
types.
Yeah. And the last one is the REST client. So that one you don't need to use like what is the name? Not Apollo. What is it called? Postman.
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 Right. You don't need to use Postman in order to do all your inspect all your APIs. You could just do it through Visual Studio Code. So you don't have to leave Visual Studio Code to do all your stuff. You can just inspect your API through there, test it out, call it, and then that way you don't have to leave Visual Studio Code and you don't need another application to test your APIs. That's basically it for me.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Rob.
much, Agent
No
Rob.
problem.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Oh yeah, are you helping us take notes so we can probably share on the channel afterwards?
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I'm doing that right now.
Oh, great, great.
Thanks, Rob.
Welcome,
Yep.
Ankita. Welcome, Aliyu. Happy to have you guys here. Um, does anybody have more stuff to share before I start calling names?
Sometimes sometimes when
Oh
we
yeah,
don't have a backend, have we discussed this? Sometimes if we don't have a backend, we can have a JSON server. It's just a library. So we can install that and we can just write a JSON server. We can write the rest of JSON so that you will get a demo of things that will be coming in from the backend.
like a mock
Okay.
data.
Mock server, yes.
Okay.
What is the extension called? Do you have
It's
the
not an
name?
extension, it's a library. I just
Oh,
forgot
okay.
its name. Just let me Google it out. It's some JSON
Okay.
server, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Can
is
you
JSON server. I will just
Okay,
put
and
it
you
into
can
the
define the model of whatever data you're expecting.
Is it this?
yes.
I
Oh,
posted a
JSON
link.
server.
So in the comment I have written, see, so if you make a post, then it will give out this list of object. So you can have multiple objects inside it.
Oh, great. Oh,
So
Wow,
you
great.
just
that's
have to
great.
declare the JSON.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you can actually mock what you're going to. You can build without waiting for the backend guys to, you know, finish whatever they're doing. That's cool.
That's very
That's
cool.
cool.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
actually.
much.
Thank you. Any more cool stuff? Open your toolbox, open it, bring out stuff. Bring the
I do
hammer, the
have
chisel.
I have a very interesting one I learned recently, which I thought was really cool, and it has to do with debugging. So basically, if you're running
Okay.
an Angular application in development and you're working on it, you could just go into inspect and go to sources. So when you go to sources, you press Command P and you open the file. So basically, you can access the files on your VS Code. You can access it in your browser, and then set breakpoints on the fly, and then pause your code and then inspect. It probably will be easy. I don't know what else you need to do a demo. Did you guys understand how I explained it?
Not
No.
really.
No, really. Okay, so let me see. Maybe I can. Do I have? Okay. So I think probably someone else should talk while I just set something up so that we can just see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Steven, do you have
Thanks.
anything for us? I know the last time you were bringing out everything, like everything, even the pen, the biro, the
Everything. So
paper.
yeah, so I have nothing now. Yeah. Okay. I think live share. Just recently, I had to install it to work with someone, and it was cool. Live share. I don't know. The person could even you could share
Terminal.
the terminal, yeah, and then the port also. You could share the port also, so you could have a feel of the application. Maybe if it's been launched on the person's local host, you could share the port together and then just have it and changing it and having it render at your end also. I think that's
Are you saying that if I'm working on an application and then I
yeah,
can,
and then
the
probably you
person
have
can
a public.
see? Okay, okay, okay.
You could live share and then
So
send me
my
the
local
link. I'll
host can
just join.
open in another's browser, like another PC browser. Another. Are you
Oh,
saying that?
okay. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can share a port and then open it, yeah, at your end. So probably maybe the application is being served at the other end, but you can see it at your end also when the person doing the live share shares the port.
Okay.
I
So
Is
think
you
that
can have access to the person's terminal and everything.
is that only
yeah.
works from the local network, or does it work outside the
Yeah,
local?
from your
No.
local network.
So the
Does it
one I'm
work
familiar
outside the
with,
network or no?
it works outside.
Um,
So like for example, I could send someone a link. For example, now I'm on my
Mm.
VS Code and I send you a link,
yeah.
and then you have access to come and code with me, and then you can edit
Oh,
files and
okay.
we're working together simultaneously. Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Is
feature
that
from
what?
VS Code.
Yeah, live
Yeah,
share.
it's an extension,
Mm-hmm.
live share. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you can now
share.
even make. You can. I think there's an update where you can make calls and text too. As
Yeah,
you're
you can
working.
make calls. Okay, but I've not tried the
Yeah,
audio
I saw
yet.
the update.
VS Code is turning into a social media app right now. So
I think this is actually a Microsoft extension.
Extension.
Yeah, because they have it in I do C# recently of late, so they have it in Visual Studio itself. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's where I actually started using it before I was introduced to it on VS Code also. Yeah, and then I think there's this NG-Rock that helps you also put out your put out a global link for everyone to be able to
Yeah.
access your port.
Your work. Yeah.
That one.
Just that when you stop serving, the person stop seeing.
Yeah, when it stops having, yeah. And mine is supposed, I don't know, I served this since morning, but I still have it online.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a free plan too. I don't know why I still have it online.
Have you killed
The last time-
the process, the terminal where you started the process,
Yeah,
and you still have it online?
I still have it online.
That's,
I still have it online, and
that's a bit scary.
it's scary. I don't know if I am supposed to be scared, or
Okay,
they're
I think I
supposed to be
have.
scared of me.
Maybe it's just running as a background process. That's possible.
Yeah, it could
guess.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
And
a ngrok running for like 2 weeks, so it was just working every day, and every day I was waiting for it to just blow up. Something would blow up, but no, for 2 weeks it was just there working. Just
Wow.
crazy. Pretty cool.
The fun fact, the first time I heard of it, I thought it was something Angular because of the NG. And then even with is it NG Inks? That one too, I thought it was something Angular.
I mean, I think Imadi has worked with a developer who was using NG, and is it NG Rock or NG Rock to save the
NG Rock,
backend service,
NG Rock.
and that's how they were working.
And
Oh,
I think the bad part of it is for every time it goes out, you have to generate a new URL. So,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Just a bad experience.
That's a big. And this actually reminds me of one. So there was recently I was trying to like work on a project and also work with responsiveness at the same time. But I didn't really want to use the inspect because I wanted to actually see the look and feel from my phone. So I think what I could do was actually share my NG
Rock.
No, not even NG Rock. Local, just your normal serving and add a host port.
Okay.
And then you can share it on your local network. So anybody connected on your local network can also access your Angular application that you're serving. Like it was really cool. So you could just call it from your phone.
Can you repeat?
Yeah.
I think HTTP server can give you that too. When you
Yeah, well, so
server, it gives you.
But you could just like ng serve and do that host and your ID, and then everyone on your network just has
network can. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
can
cool.
access it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Thank you guys. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Yes. So I think I can share. I don't know if I can share my screen.
Yeah, I have to start
because-
over. My Angular Nation just crashed on me.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Sorry
great.
about that.
No, any gist about maybe any library like template library?
Okay, talking of REST API, I think Thunder clients is my preferred choice anyway. So
What do
Thunder
you call it?
clients.
Thunder.
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 TUND
Okay. I thought-
THUNDER client.
Oh, you mean Thunder?
Yeah, Thunder. Thunder.
Okay. Oh, really?
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
that's cool. That's cool.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Oh,
so that's the Nigerian
okay.
accent will be thunder.
Thunder, exactly,
Thunder.
exactly.
That fire you.
So
And
I think I can just share because I just joined a company and a new company, and there's some interesting stuff that they're doing that I wasn't doing before in my previous company. It's mainly around the tools that they use, and in case you not necessarily Angular related, but at least it's a web platform, and they use the stuff to support.
Oh yeah, Thunder
Form.
client. I
yeah,
got
thunder.
it.
So
Yes,
for
Thunder.
first thing I want to share is the customer IO. So previously, where I was working before, we were using like what's it called? We had our own service for building for sending notifications. So we wrote a whole service and all that. We had to worry about the maintainers when stuff start failing and all that. And we have to build templates for every HTML and all that. So playing a lot of stuff, and then the team that are supposed to be working on business logic and real things that are supposed to focus on will now be trying to fix in notification stuff. So what we use currently, my current company is called customer.io, and it's a great platform. Actually started using it like yesterday and just trying to look through it, and it's really fantastic. Like you can do a lot and a lot of things with it. It's not just the notification thingy. You can run A/B testing with it. You can run a lot of things with it, so you should probably try it out because my IO. Apart from the A/B testing, you can track a lot of details like analytics and all that, clicks, a lot of stuff. So I want to try that out.
So,
Uh,
what
yeah,
do you call it?
customer.io.
Customer.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Can you
So
paste
in
the
terms of
link
the
here?
notification, do we have like, is there a particular cloud provider that the preferred cloud provider they use, or how, or is that none of your business?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of it. When your business is selling books, you shouldn't worry about where they get the trees from or how they're going to. So you should focus on selling your books. So that's the selling point. So they've promised you that they're going to make sure your uptime is 100% or whatever plan to make sure you don't have to worry about that. You focus on your business and yeah, yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
Customer.io. Super cool, super cool.
So, and you don't have to create like email templates. It's like, how does that work?
Yeah, you have to create email templates. You can very simple HTML, CSS. They have templates and all this stuff, so you can create an email template and yeah, on the fly, pure HTML and all that.
Interesting.
So and for campaigns as well, for broadcasts, you can do event based notifications, so you don't really have to call it. So maybe someone does a click, maybe someone just made payment and all this kind of stuff that you have to call the notification service, and maybe notification service is down. All this problem you used to have. Oh yeah, so don't worry about that at all at any point in time, and you
Interesting.
have that UI that you can use, and don't worry about trying to go to the database to do anything. Yeah,
But
I
what
think.
happens when they're? I think the question is what happens when they're down.
Well, so
What
so
happens when
so,
everyone is
so
done?
what happens when everyone is down? I think so. That is one thing. Just imagine where do you host your services today? They're on AWS. You trust AWS so much that or whatever, except you have your own data centers and all this stuff. But you trust AWS so much that you don't even, because they've promised you 99.999% uptime and all that. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happens if the internet goes down? So we're just having faith.
I get it, right? Yeah. Everything is based on. I think even Google goes down, Facebook goes down. So what can we say?
Exactly. Exactly. So Ankita, Aliu, do you guys have Romek? Do you guys have any gist for us? Anything in your
I'm using the
toolbox?
code spell checker right now, and I realize I'm spelling webhook as we hook.
You see. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Oh yeah, do you want to share your stuff?
Yeah, I'm working. So I think so. The thing is, I'm using a new laptop, so I have to like go get my sandbox repository again. That's just.
No, okay.
I'm almost done.
Yeah. No worries, I'll leave you.
Peter, please share. I know you have a lot.
I don't remember exactly, but there was something wherein we can like look at our components and modules like a tree or something like that, so that you can get an architectural idea of our complete project. I don't remember the exact name. Like I just watched it while
Oh, you mean
sleeping.
the
Something
what
like
was that Bonnie said?
source map,
You remember?
something.
Okay, source map analyzer.
Yeah,
Something
that
like
one.
that, but I was not sure about. I'm not sure about it actually. I don't even remember. I'm totally blank. But I just know that it will show us like a tree how the components and modules are present, like shaped in our project. For
I
that
know another
particular.
one I learnt of just similar to that is CompoDoc, the one that was built by
Yeah, CompoDoc.
Wasim. Yeah, Wasim. CompoDoc was like it just takes your whole project and does the documentation for you straight up.
For you. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was so really surprised why it's not as popular as I would
Y- y-
expect it to
the-
be
the-
more
the-
popular than that.
I think Storybook uses CompoDoc under the old,
Yeah, under the
because I
hood.
think that's how I got to see CompoDoc for the first time. I think I was browsing through node modules, node packages, and then I found like, oh yeah, I think Storybook. I think maybe the guys trying to build, people are really building stuff on top of it, and then people don't really know much about it. But it's a cool tool. It's a cool tool.
And you analyze all your modules, all your TypeScript files, your pipes, your services. It puts them in one place, and you can see everything.
Yeah,
The size of it, like it's really powerful.
yeah.
What was the name? What is it?
CompoDoc.
CompoDoc. Let me see if I can get a link.
I
It's on
just
GitHub.
posted it in the chat, and I agree. It's
Okay.
amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool tool.
I also agree that
Source map analyzer is great. And if you use NX, then it also shows you the dependency graph.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one too. Nice.
That's super cool. Let me see.
And if you guys saw it, but recently StackBits announced that she could create NX. You could have NX DevTools inside StackBits, the online IDE. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that
That's
new?
interesting. Yeah, I think so. I don't think I've seen that before. And I think I still used StackBlitz yesterday, and I don't think I noticed. Let me check.
Yeah. They just announced it.
Oh, great. Oh, great. Okay, Braden Roberts. Personally, I haven't used NX before, though. No use case for me, especially now because our backend services are in Python. Then we have our frontend services. So the only JavaScript stuff that we have.
No.
I haven't used NX. Like, what is it exactly used for? Like, totally blank. Like, no idea about it.
That's like a whole new session that we can do over. And access, typically, if you have a monorepo, it's helpful to organize your code like that. I mean, there are a lot of benefits of using NX.
I think a quick
I
summary is
don't
like
know where to begin.
you're putting your eggs in one basket, and whenever you need to get the eggs, you just go to the basket to pick them up. So you have
No,
just
but
one.
this analogy doesn't make sense. Making
I
it
think
sound
if I were to put it,
it's-
it would be more like
making
turning
it
your
sound like
apps.
it's risky.
And then, oh yeah, putting eggs in one basket. Okay.
Yeah.
No, so if I would think it's more of like turning your apps into Lego blocks and putting the Lego blocks together and then now for each individual app you are joining the Lego blocks based on how you want them, and then you
Yeah.
have access to all the Lego blocks in one place instead of having to
Yeah.
build different applications and have all your Lego blocks and then build the applications. You put your Lego
Separate.
So
blocks
that's it.
together
And
and
then
then construct.
I think I have learned or begun to even make my libraries publishable. So most of my libraries are publishable. So if for some reason I need to use them in a different project that is not NX based or whatever, I just put it on npm and then just use it outside. I mean, it helps in shaping the way you design your models and all that. So for me, I like it so much.
One thing that I do is that I put all my services with the component that it's required for, because sometimes a lot of people like to put it in a service folder, and then the problem is that if you want to take that one component, then you have to take the service from over there. You got to take the interface from another folder, and everything is like so. If you have a component that is like specialized and it's like is reusable, I would suggest putting all your interfaces, services and all that stuff inside the one folder for that component, and then that way you can move it from anywhere or take it apart or whatever.
Okay, that's another way. Anyway.
So when you created this library, how do you go about it? I mean, do you just create a library application and then you just start dumping things in there?
What made me even start creating was just because I had to work with a different app that wasn't using NX, and because I was so used to it, and they have this microservice, I mean, created with even Nest.js, but then they still don't use NX. So I had to make sure that I have my own NX set up somewhere, creating libraries that I'm going to reuse them all over the microservices that they've created. So, I mean, I make sure that I always make it publishable whenever I'm generating it publishable,
nice.
so that you could always put it on NPM and use it.
Yeah.
So my question would be, how do you then account for things like, because I know IV optimizations could be required in case you're working.
Okay, anyway, that's not IV. That's actually Nest.js.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Nest.js.
Yeah, Nest.js. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Can
anyway, you can still do it with Angular anyway. So
is there a way to
what was your
integrate
question anyway?
Nest.js with Angular?
Yeah, you can. You can use NX with Nest.js and Angular. I think there's a full CLI option for that. When you choose it, it will just generate everything for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
And even set up your proxy. It can set up a proxy. Yeah. So it is very cool.
Why don't you give a talk about that?
You see? Yeah, you give me something to talk about. Yeah, I just have to jot it down and then prepare for me.
Yes.
And Val.
That would be so cool. It would be so cool to have you give a talk on that.
Yeah.
Great. So, okay. That's fine. If you want to give a talk, maybe I can just block a date for you in the calendar, then so you can actually prepare for it.
But I have to actually prepare for it.
Yeah. So it's you prepare. It will motivate to prepare faster if you know that you have a fixed date for the presentation.
You have a fixed date.
Right. Just don't say the word thunder.
I get you, but no pressure.
Just omit the word thunder from the vocabulary.
Yeah, I'll share some available dates with you. I think we still have some space this December. I'm not so sure. Oh yeah, you're supposed to give a talk, so yeah, you need to send in your details
to fill
as
in.
possible. Yeah, I know. Tito also wanted to give a talk in December, so Tito is available. Fine. Romain, we should have you in Angular Africa as well. Come on.
Never given a programming talk. I know I need to. One day.
Come on.
One today is one day. That's
Look at that. you can pretend you were here with us. That's
Yeah.
all you have to do. You don't be afraid of that,
And we have Rob in the calendar as well, coming up
Yeah.
very soon.
I like the picture you use, Val.
Oh yeah, so I couldn't get access to the one you sent, so I had to just
Oh,
improvise.
okay.
Yeah,
Good. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you can still send it, I'll really appreciate because I think I sent a request for access, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay. I didn't
yeah,
see it, but I'll look for it.
check it out. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're super excited. So I mean, we are going to get to see a full face for like an hour. I mean, we only get to see Rob's face for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
Sometimes 2 seconds.
Yeah. And for Steven as well, it's super cool to see Steven's face throughout today. Like it's man,
Yeah,
I mean, those are people
that's
that
for
you pay
the
to see.
uh, the XM4.
Oh man, come on.
Celebrating
Yeah,
that.
we are celebrating that.
That's cool. Does anybody ever use NGRX?
Yes, I have. But
Oh, heavily.
Yeah.
I know Ankita has used it, right?
Yeah.
Ankita?
Yeah.
Mm.
How's it going? What type of is it methodology, or did you have like facades for your services, or you just call your selectors directly?
Yeah, we just call selectors directly. I mean, so far it hasn't been a problem for us. I know everyone is
Okay.
really skeptical when they talk about NGRX, but it's been working well for us. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the components
Stop.
store is now popular now. People are putting down pulling down their global
NGRX.
state and just using that. But I mean, just when I felt like using something from NGRX team, that's where I mean Elf came in. You know Elf, the new library
No.
from
From
yeah.
Nathan Basso.
Come on, that guy
Yeah.
is genius.
Is it state management?
Yeah,
Is it for state management?
it also can be local. Just like I think it's local. You don't need to even install anything. Put anything in your module. You just use it you just create it and then use it in the service right away. Come on, it's just like
Component store.
the component store. Honestly,
Okay.
it has the entity support. I mean, I think that's what is even pulling me towards it. The entity support.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something I'm looking forward to use anyway. I've not started using it.
So that's one thing I kind of have problems with because when people release libraries, everyone wants to jump in and use them. And now Steven is going to use this library in someone's project, and Steven is going to leave that company and is going to go to another company. Then you're going to employ new developers, be like, oh, what the fuck is health or what is calling? And then they'll be forced to say, oh God, we now need to do this. So,
I've thought of this thing,
yeah.
and I mean, just recently I made a team that I'm working with use Tiger UI,
Okay.
and they started complaining anyway because they were used to NGZO and Angular Material,
Yeah.
and then I made them use Tiger UI,
Okay, yeah.
and they were complaining, but I don't. Should it be a problem? Okay, but with regards to the state management thing, I think I don't think it should be a problem.
I think it can be a problem. In my opinion, especially when you're working on enterprise applications. Forget about who has released the library or how cool the library is. One thing that I think should be the main focus is the support for that library.
Yeah,
When you know the team that is responsible, that this is highly maintainable, not the team that maybe 5 years from now, or you see that it can only support your Angular 7 or Angular 8, and then you're an Angular 14 or 15, and then you don't have that service
So who
maintained.
makes it popular then? Who makes it popular?
People
Because
like you. People like
yeah,
you. Who has
so
introduced us
then
to
we'll use
yeah.
it to make it popular. For me, I'm a sucker for open source projects. I just love. I haven't
source.
contributed anything yet,
Yeah.
but I just love when people put things out there. I mean, for instance, the Tiger UI team. Yeah, I just love
Right.
their energy and the kind of tips they put in terms of Angular and even CSS. Just recently, they did CSS challenge and all that.
Yeah.
So I felt like and their coding style it's so different and so clean for me. So I mean, reading it, I feel like it's something that using their library you wouldn't actually regret, because even with their library they have a lot of utilities that you use. Like let's say instead of maybe creating a pipe, you could just put a decorator on a function that acts like a pipe in
Oh,
your
wow.
component. Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
how cool! It's so cool.
Yeah.
They have decorators where they could even track. Maybe you have they could track the validity of the number. So when you're inputting, when you put it on your input, and maybe it's a number, but you don't take a negative number, immediately it flags just like that in your template. Meanwhile, it's actually a number, but because it's a negative number and you've placed that thing in your input on top of that decorator on top of your input, it just checks it and flags immediately. So, I mean, when you see cool things like this, come on.
You want to use them? Yeah,
have
I think one other I think why people mostly don't are not receptive to this kind of stuff could be that because when you are getting people to join your team, that means they need to learn these new tools that you have in your
Yeah,
maybe I
I
could
think you just have to document whatever you have.
you're doing
So whoever joins the team would just need to wrap their heads around
around
it.
it.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be a problem. I don't think so.
Yeah, and Steven is talking about documentation as if developers like to write documentation. Developers only love to read documentation before they work. Or writing their own implementation documentation is.
I mean, somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe not the developer, maybe someone.
You see.
Okay,
So,
I was finally able to get it to. Okay, yeah, Rob, go.
No, I was just telling Bali that I posted a link to a YouTube video from this guy that he's really good. He explains it NGRX really good, so he goes through the whole application there for you.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's cool.
but
Is it
like I
using the
said,
updated version of NGRX?
yeah.
Oh great.
So I like Akira better.
Yeah.
Akita, okay.
No, Akira, not
Akira.
Akira.
More like Akira. Akira. You should be using Akira.
Akira, yes. Akira is the other. It's just like NGRX, but it's better to digest. It's easier for you to get your head around it.
I mean, for me, introducing introducing libraries into
yes, it's a headache.
It's a headache for me now. So for me, I'm all about the coding stores.
Right.
Yeah.
But Steven, think about it this way. So let's say that you need to do something, right? And then you can build it. There's no doubt about it. But remember that third-party libraries have already been tested. They've been already been in use for a long time. There is also
edge
following
cases that they've accounted for.
Yeah, so so that way it's easier for you to introduce something like that. The reason why I don't like to do is to introduce a lot of libraries, because then the application has to download all of that libraries every single time, which is hard, so
Yeah,
that's true. So I finally got this to work, so probably I'll just share my screen now so I can quickly explain what I was talking about earlier. So I'll just do this here, share. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Do I need to make it bigger or is it big enough?
Make it bigger.
Make the font bigger. Control plus. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so this is the application, right? It's just the sandbox application I have. But what I was trying to explain was, so if I serve my sandbox application here, and I'm just playing around with it, and I want to make a change or understand what's going on. For example, if I click this open button now, I'm navigating to a new page, right? But then I want to like inspect the behavior. So you can come here, inspect. You can come to sources, yeah, and then you have access to all the files that you had earlier. So you can do this, Control P. So for example, this is table component, and I can search through it and find components. Yeah, I can find all the files you have in your VS Code and open it here. And the beautiful part about this is you can set breakpoints. So for example, I know this open button here calls a method called navigate. So I can put this here. And then I can click open, it pauses. So I can see the value of everything and debug and see, okay, is this value the value I want to come here? So if you hover over it, you can see all the values inside here and do your debugging and trace stuff like that. Yeah, which is like really, really helpful. Instead of having to go to VS Code and start like putting console logs everywhere. I think this helps a lot. And then you can step through it, keep going.
How are you able to do that?
So you have to, so you come here, you go back, right click, inspect.
Okay.
Sources.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can close everything. If you've opened it previously, to open here, but you can do this. Then do Command P. I think on Windows it'll probably be Control P, and then you search for the components you are looking for.
Okay.
So for example, in this case is table, and then this is it here. I think it was Nathan that actually showed this to me the other day, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
Wow.
also, you see this three-dotted button there next to the file list?
You can also you can debug. Like you can see all your call stacks. You can see the local variables. Let me see. I think it should be somewhere here. Global listeners. I think download.
You've not started debugging.
Also,
okay, I haven't started.
Complete project. If you
here it is.
Below the local host, that's there in the left part.
Yeah.
No, on top of there, you see the second icon on the second row, that three-dotted button that is on one on top of each other.
One?
Which one?
The one where it is labeled table.component.ts, the left of it.
Left.
This one?
Yeah, the three-dotted button, that one. Click on that one, and then you can click on open file, and does the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You can open any file through there.
You can open any file here. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yep. So, also, you need to enable your sources here, because otherwise you're gonna see the main file, which is already compressed.
Let me see that. I don't think I checked that.
In your package. Yep.
Let me see. So configuration would probably be development. So that'll be serve.
Even if it is
I don't think. I think.
You don't need it.
Go to your source. You should see it. Yeah, if you go to.
I think it shows regardless.
Yeah,
it shows regardless. Yeah, it shows regardless. So this is a very fun way to just debug and not have to,
do it from the VS Code.
Yeah. So when you're getting weird behavior, this has saved me like a lot of stress overall. So yeah.
But have you ever used the Angular dev tools?
Very well.
So like funny enough, when I first started at my job, that was probably what I was using to not get
navigate
lost,
to understand what is dependent
which component was which, and then I'll go and find just to find a way around. It helps, like it is super. So I think but there's some bugs there which are really weird, but if you restart it now, I think it should work fine. And so you have this here, and you can see everything, and then you can see
it helps in just quickly identifying components, children components.
And I think the beautiful part is you can edit from here, which is really cool, and stuff like that. So interesting. Yeah. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you guys.
Thank you.
Cool stuff.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
So guys, it's 6:30 p.m. and I think 6:32. Six. Oh, what time is it at your end?
It's
Steven.
5:30 at my end.
Or you're living in the past, you're actually in the future. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's 6:32 West African time, right? Oh yeah. And 6:32 you're working with West African time. Now we're gonna work with your time and very soon. So guys, and I think we've actually come to the end
GMT
of
is the
that's
GMT
yeah.
0 is the correct time, so that's what you should be using.
But that's in the past. Like I know what happened 1 hour ago. Like I can tell you what's gonna happen, you know. So yeah, so it's time, and I think we've come to the end of today's session. If you guys want to stick around, it's pretty okay. But I'm just gonna stop recording officially. So if anyone still have any cool stuff to share, you know.
I do have one important thing to say, which is
Oh yeah,
for all of us who are the Angular developers. So I think it's official. Angular 13 is coming out tomorrow.
Yay!
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow.
I'm still
So
in
I think
Angular 9, so I can't
you need to
upgrade
catch
it.
up.
It's too much.
yeah.
You need to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Eagle posted so I saw the confirmation. So yeah, that's one thing to be excited about, I guess. So yeah, I thought I should share.
That's super cool. Are they coming out with the what's it called? The optional
standalone components.
Yeah, optional models.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the change log yet, but I don't think so.
I think they did a post 13 days back or maybe 12 days back, and then they wrote something new coming 13 days or something like that. So I mean the 13 was the hint. So I was like, oh okay.
Let's say 10.
That was cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think I heard that Ivy is coming out with it 100% this time around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
We are ready.
That's cool.
Anything I'm working on or I've had to work on, I've updated it. So I'm ready for anything, man.
Not everyone's as excited as you are.
Oh, anyway,
That's cool.
maybe I don't have big projects, but then any place I find myself freelancing, I try to make them update. So
yeah,
that's cool.
That's really cool. Oh yeah, before we go ahead, sorry.
But to me, this 12, 11, they are somehow stressful anyway. Like in my second job now, right? You can't just create a variable. You can't say let's like string, like create a variable. Let's say you have a name and string. You have to use a default like equal to empty string. All this is stressful. You can't use
no, I think that's strict mode.
No, that's strict. Yeah, that's strict one. Okay, cool.
But you shouldn't try to.
No, I think you can do let's maybe variable name then of type string and leave it as that. But if you want to declare it as something, you cannot because you are inferring and it's supposed you infer the types. So that's why it's just
right.
Yeah. Right. But you can turn off strict mode if you want. I mean,
no,
don't turn it off. Don't turn it off.
It is
for Angular 12. They said it is better to have split mode on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It is better to have it on. Yes. Let's just leave it at that.
And one thing, guys, I think lastly from my own.
All right, Roman. Thank you.
As much as possible to always, use linters in our code. It helps a lot in deploying clean code to production. You always have to lint, always have to run your lint before. I mean, if possible, you can add it to your deployment process so that you can always check that, and if there's any error, you just fill the process as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Linters are very important. I think with NX that even comes the NX it
default
comes with linters. It comes, and you also have strict mode too. So
yeah, strict mode. Yeah, I even use strict mode on backend stuff, and the annoying part is that declaration inferring thing. But
what do you mean? It's for Nest.
For Nest, yeah.
Don't you use
I mean,
TypeScript?
Nest has a lot of Angular architecture in there. So because
Yeah.
of that, yeah, it is very easy to even import Angular stuff whilst working on Nest
Wow.
application.
Now it looked really amazing when I saw. I think it was Aticia who
Yeah,
did the
Aditya. Yeah,
presentation with the
yeah,
Nest and when he was able to build that project
Computer.
management software. Yeah,
yeah,
computer.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
computer.
yeah.
Yeah, like
It
that was
was
really
so
interesting
cool.
stuff. Like, okay, this is fun time to be alive. Very very fun time. Yeah, yeah.
So guys, oh yeah, do you have any news for us apart from the Angular 13 news so we
Yeah,
can,
so
you know?
our next meeting is going to be on the 16th of November, and we have Wayne. Yeah, Wayne from Angular Kenya. He's coming over here to do a presentation for us on authenticating users with Firebase in an Angular app. So yeah, next week on November 16th we have Wayne here. So you'll be glad. I'm glad if every one of us could be a part of it. So the next event we have here on Angular Nation is tomorrow, and that's on the APAC channel or sister channel, like Bonnie says, calls it. And that's tomorrow. And they have Mark, who is going to be talking about optimizing NGXS in an
Yay.
Angular application. Yeah, so that should be another fun one. And then on Friday, we have, Angular Americas also has a meetup, and it's with Jeff Welpley, and it's Angular Americas infrastructure as TypeScript. Sounds like a lot of fun. So that's on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, and we also have our Friday social. So yeah, that's it from me. Wow.
Okay, guys, does anyone have anything to add to any, cool gist news that you want to share?
No.
Okay, so officially we've come to the end of today's episode.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop recording. Thank you guys for coming. You can stick around
Thanks,
if you
guys.
want to.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right, guys. Yeah.